Hello, family. How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
Welcome,
I'm
welcome.
good.
We're live, episode 38, Friends with Benefits podcast. I'm Justin. This is Pansy. How you doing, Pansy?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. I like your hair. Looks like
Hey,
yeah.
I didn't do anything to it.
I like the way that your hair looks right now. It looks good that way. I don't
Thanks.
know what maybe just because you just had a shower or something. I don't know. But
Yeah, it hasn't been all like frazzled today yet.
yeah, it looks good. You look good.
Thanks.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here, everybody. I really do appreciate everyone. Pansy and I was just talking about this. Pansy and I have been doing this now. I think we're almost getting into a year. I don't think we're quite there yet, but we're almost at a year.
When did we start? Like April?
I think it was right. I think it was like April, something like that. Yeah, I think that's close to when we started.
April or May, something like that.
And we've learned a ton, going through this
Um,
and I've learned a ton. I know Pansy's learned a lot in doing this and we're still learning. It's constant learning, but we really do, for the folks that are supporting us and that come back and watch the show, we really appreciate you guys. And for anyone new who might be watching this after the fact, definitely like and subscribe, comment, you know, let us know how we're doing. It actually does help us. So, but yeah, appreciate all you guys for being here. I actually am really, I'm excited to actually talk to this guest in particular because I have a soft spot in my heart for people that are in this business that really have a heart for giving and for helping other people. Um, you hear a lot of people say that, and you hear a lot of people claim to be that. Uh, but this person is really out there doing it, and that's what really matters is the action, right? Don't listen to what people say, watch what people do, is kind of how I live my life. But I really appreciate what she's doing, and I think more people need to hear about it, and more people need to know that it is something that you can actually do and still do very well. Like, I don't know how you feel about this, Pansy, but I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are like, I need to keep everything close to the vest. It's take care of me and mine, and otherwise someone's going to take it from me kind of attitude. And, you run into that. Unfortunately, in this business, you run into that sometimes a lot, but
Yeah, you're gonna run into that into a lot of places, but that's why I
yeah,
like our community because we
yeah,
found the people that aren't all like that, right?
that's right. Well, and you're right. And we really appreciate that about Jennifer and I'm excited to talk to her about this. But it's a business model, just like anything else. It's a business model, but it's people first, and there needs to be way more of this. And I know, especially right now in the world we live in right now, there needs to be way more of this. So I'm excited to bring her up, and we'll go ahead and bring her up right now. But thank you, Jennifer, for being here. Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, so Jennifer, for folks who don't know you or don't know what you're doing, maybe give us a little 1 minute intro. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into this,
Or
how
a
you got
couple
started,
minutes.
or a couple minutes. Yeah,
Can I
Yeah.
have 10? No, I'm
you
just
know,
kidding.
I'm not timing
Take
you.
the time you need.
Yeah.
Give me a buzzer. No,
I'm gonna start the
no.
timer right now. No, go ahead.
So I'm Jennifer Breitba. I live up in Butte, Montana, which is a small, like 30,000 people in our town. I'm from Montana. I've lived in Montana my whole life. And I'm a veteran. I was in the Army National Guard for 20 years. And I have electrical engineering degree from Montana State. So it's kind of um, a weird mix of things going on here. But um, I served for 20 years, and 10 of it was active duty for the National Guard, and I was a logistics officer. So operations is kind of my bread and butter. When I got out, I became a program manager for an engineering company that designed and built mixers. So my electrical engineering degree helped me be able to communicate with the engineers and everybody there.
Oh
And
man.
at
I got to pick your brain about operations, about systems.
at the end of, getting close to the end of my tenure there at that job, what actually happened was I just was tired of the grind. It was right after COVID. I think COVID was a turning point for a lot of us, but it was right after COVID and the stock market started to take a dive, and I was looking at my retirement and going, okay, the government's controlling my retirement. They're making me put money into things that I don't necessarily want to put money into, and I don't have any control over that. It's the government's taking, and the economy's tanking, and I have no control over it. And now I'm working for somebody who, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of respect for him and what he built because he's an entrepreneur and he built a very successful company and I learned a lot. But
Mhm.
I'm building his company, not my own. I'm not building something for my own. I'm not building my own legacy, and I get wonderful benefits. I was very grateful.
Mhm.
3 weeks of vacation a year, but it wasn't enough for me to have the freedom that I wanted to go and do the things I wanted to do. And my family, my husband and I, we've always just had a passion for helping people. We had brought a friend into our home, her and her daughters, and let them stay with us and live with us for a while. And it just kind of built this love that we had for helping other people. And so I would decided I wanted to look into real estate investing, and I joined a couple mentorships. And one day I was just at church and I sat in the pew and I said, God, if you help me do this, this is what I'm going to do. And this was about 3 years ago, almost exactly, like no, like October 2022. And I said, I'm going to build transitional housing for the less fortunate.
I
And from
love that.
there, I said, okay. And then I just started going, and this is what it's going to look like. And I just
Yeah.
went from there. So I joined, Gator was one of the mentorships that I joined, and helped do a lot of private money connecting, and
Mhm.
learned a lot about real estate, goods and bads, and all the hardships. And then
Yeah.
I joined Sub 2 and Owners Club, and have a couple properties of my own and a couple with a partner, and we're just growing from there.
I love that. I love that. One of the things I like to ask too is maybe you can take us back to your first property and what that looked like for you guys. Because I know for me, it was very haphazard and it was very, I mean, there was some intention obviously behind it, but it was, big learning experience for me. And I would love to hear what that looked like for you. And was it a co-living? Was your first one a co-living or was it just a traditional rental or what did that look like for you?
The first one was a duplex. I still
Okay.
own it with a partner.
Yeah.
I own it with a partner who is a realtor. He brought it to us as a seller finance. So my very first property
Mm,
was seller finance,
nice.
but I had known that I wanted to invest in something, so I had my HELOC ready to go. And I told him I would come in, put down the down payment. He said he would do all the work. I put down the down payment, and about 20 grand in. Didn't I learn a lot of lessons? I actually was just on with Pace telling this story, but I learned a lot of lessons from this story because I didn't do the inspections myself. I didn't check the things out myself. I trusted the partner. He told me it was only going to be like 20 grand. He would do
Oh
all the
man.
work.
Yeah.
And when we closed, we found foundation issues, rotting floors,
That's so funny that you say that.
electrical, all the things, like everything that you should check for was wrong. I had a good
Yeah.
roof on it. So,
Yeah. Hey, that's
and I
something.
didn't have to replace the heater, but I had to replace a water heater. So, um,
We were literally just talking about this. Like before we jumped in with you, we were literally just talking about this on our other friends Zoom. And yeah. So what did the foundation did you said it was 20,000 or what did it end up costing you?
Well, so my husband is amazing, and my
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
So the partner said he was going to do all the work. I didn't know that meant that all the work that he was going to do was going to include hiring out, so
Hmm.
that that was going to come out of my pocket too. We were supposed
Hmm.
to have anything after 20,000 was supposed to be split, but he didn't have the capital, so I had to put it all in. So the 80,000 turned into 122,000.
Oh man.
And that that was not even all of that was doing most of the work ourselves. So my
Yeah.
husband, such a saint, he drove back and forth from, it's 4 hours to Kalispell, that's where it was. He
Yeah.
drove every weekend back and forth to do work. Um,
Yeah.
Literally, I'll have to show the pictures. I need to put them up, but
Hmm.
this house was a really odd house. So luckily, we were able to actually just sandwich the walls and
Okay.
put sandwich and angle iron on each side and jack it
Hmm.
up with jacks. I don't know if you can imagine that, but like the
Wow.
actual wall was thick. It wasn't just like normal two by or normal plywood. It was
Mhm.
like this thick, it's an old house. And so it
Yeah.
was actually the structure was actually the walls. And so
Yeah.
he could probably explain it better, but he
Yeah.
was able to sandwich it with angle iron on each side and then jack it up and then put the new sill board underneath it. So
Wow.
we
Wow.
went around and did that around the whole house, and my and got that done, and that was the hardest part, right? The longest part. And then with going in and doing the flooring
Well, yeah,
and
because you
like
can't put tenants in there until all that stuff's done, right? So,
right. Luckily, it's a duplex, so we had tenants in the other
yeah,
side.
okay, cool. Yeah,
And
okay.
my
All right.
partner did, he had his kids renting from us over there, but
Mhm.
then we were paying for them to do work, so really it was a wash, but for the
Mhm.
most part. But at least we were having some income come in on
That's
that
good.
side.
Yeah.
um, and that helped a lot. So, and then he was able to find a really affordable electrician, which helped a lot because we had to redo the electrical. So we had half the
Oh
walls torn
man.
out. I mean, it was almost a full gut. We have the only thing that's really original is a couple few of the walls in the bathtub and the shower, the actual shower and bathtub.
So yeah,
But
guys, folks who are watching, this is why your due diligence and your inspection period is so important. Right?
yeah.
So did you guys now you had some folks living on one side. Did you guys turn that into a co-living? Did that end up
So
becoming a
we
co?
ended up, well, they were renting by the room on their own, but we didn't end up turning it into a co-living. And we only renovated one side. So the other side is still old and one side's new and one side's old, but the other side was in much better shape, although I still need to redo it or someone does. But
Okay.
we didn't turn it into a co-living. I'm actually frustrated that I didn't just go for it, that like God said that I was supposed to do this and I didn't. And so now it's
Mm,
on the we actually my partner wants exited. So it's on the market right now, and we've
mhm.
got like 6 views, and they're still not super happy about the foundation, the people that are looking at it. So
Oh
I
man.
don't know what it's going to look like for a sale, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at actually just refinancing it and getting it turned into a
That's
co-living.
fun. I was literally just gonna say you guys should like hang out, like buy your partner out, right?
I know, but I got
Yeah.
to do it. I got to get it structured and get the
Yeah.
offer over to him and do
Yeah.
all the things, and it's in my outbox literally.
No, but that's and think about some of the lessons you learned on that one. Expensive lessons, unfortunately, but lessons nonetheless. So take me through now. Okay, so you got your first property. Did you immediately start looking for the next one and the next one just was just kind of like, or was it more just
No,
kind of organic?
I was super into private money lending
Mhm.
and partner,
Sorry, let me mute him. Oh, go for it.
All right. So
All good.
yeah, I was working on private money lending, and so it kind of waylaid me learning a lot of lessons there. And
Mhm.
so then once um so that's actually the only property that I actually own. Um, well, I own another property, I guess, but that
Mhm.
property is the one with that partner. And then while
Mhm.
we were doing private money lending, with my other partner, Tammy Jensen, we decided to do our own flip, and that had its own
Mm,
challenges.
nice.
So that was a
Yeah.
long distance flip. Again, even though we thought we did the due diligence, we still didn't do enough. And we did end up, long story short, after lots and lots of struggles and everything, we ended up not getting it sold, refinancing it, and we have a renter in there. So the
Okay.
renter has um we're losing like $300 a month on that. So that we
Okay.
can't turn into co-living. It's on an HOA.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then my partner Jordan Reyes came to me and my husband before we were partners and said,
Mhm.
"Hey, because he's up in Kalispell. I don't know if y'all know who Jordan is, but you check him out on
Yeah, I've heard of
Instagram."
Jordan. Yeah.
But so he's about 4 hours away from me up in Kalispell. He is up there, and he came to us and said, let's work together. And so where I got to actually really get involved in a co-living that I actually is had so many challenges, but I've actually enjoyed it a lot, is the one that he picked up before we partnered. So I came
Mm.
on and I'm his operations. He's a visionary, I'm the integrator. And so I came on to set up and I set up the property manager on management on that, as well as our
Oh,
RV
nice.
park and a bunch of other things. And so I'm the
Nice.
integrator operator for everything that we do now. So we are operating that one. We're doing a flip that might turn into co-living in Kalispell right now. About to do, I'm finishing up the paperwork and trying to close on one here in Butte that we've been working on for like a year. He and
Yeah.
I, before we even truly became partners, we're working on for a year. So we've got a few in the mix, and we're looking for more. We want to buy 10 by the end of the year, and it's
Oh,
only six
wow.
weeks left.
Yeah.
So we're looking for. We've kind of expanded. We've expanded into Dallas, and we don't know exactly what area we're looking at, but we're looking to go to Dallas
Okay.
and hopefully buy some straight from a wholesaler before the end of
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are you looking for in Dallas? You do have to be careful. Where are you
Right.
in Dallas?
Right, that's what we're still trying to figure out, the actual area. We've gotten a
Yeah.
few suggestions. I
Yeah.
can't remember where they are.
Have
We
you
literally just,
connected with Katie Langford?
no, I don't think so.
She could probably give you some good insight on areas of Dallas. So,
Yeah. So that's really interesting. So you got you got into that one with Jordan and then you said you did turn it into a co-living, right? That one actually ended up
So
being
that
made a
one,
co-living.
that one used to be a brothel.
Okay.
interesting.
Nice.
I love to hear
And
history
Ashley,
behind.
Ashley actually just jumped
If
in here.
the,
She's helping me manage it. Ashley Deloney just jumped in here. She's helping me manage this one. It used to be a
yeah.
brothel. It's like a dorm room. It's a rent by the room,
Okay.
and it's it's a very interesting
Is it like a
property.
historic property when you say brothel, or is it just like,
No,
no, this just used to be a it just used to be a brothel like in 1990s or something? Like
yeah,
pretty much. Okay.
1980, I think 80s,
Yeah,
up
yeah.
to the 80s or something. But
Those walls could talk,
the
huh?
story goes that actually that wasn't the brothel. That's just where her friends stayed. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
but but yeah, it's a rent by the room. It has 10 rooms in it, like a
Nice.
dormitory, and two of
Yeah.
them have a kitchen, and then it has an apartment on the garage. So we
Perfect.
have 10 tenants, 11 tenants, and then we actually had a food hut next to it that we own, and we turned that into a room in the summer, but in the winter it's getting too cold. So
Yeah.
we had I guess it's 12 rooms that
Yeah.
we rented out, and they rent the rooms themselves are like 5 to 600. The one with the kitchen is like 750,
Yeah.
and then the one bedroom apartment's like $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's old and it's in really rough shape, and I had to evict like 5 people so far this year. So I've gone through a lot of ups and downs, and where it's we've one apartment left and we're just finalizing the due diligence on the person and getting them in. But we actually started partnering with the prison, people coming out of prison. So
Nice.
that
Nice. That's
building
good.
has a lot of those kind of tenants and Social Security, people on Social Security.
You know,
So,
I tell me what you've heard about this. This is I'll just say what I've heard. Like, you know, people are kind of obviously nervous about letting ex-cons or whatever live in their places. But what I've heard is there's kind of another side, sort of a silver lining to this. Like, yeah, if you got people like felons or people with felonies on their record, first of all, it's really difficult for them to find places to begin with, right? When they get out. And almost always they usually end up being some of your best tenants because they don't want to screw it up, right?
mhm.
Right. Obviously, everybody's different. It depends on the person, obviously, but there's a huge need for that. One and two, yeah, people who get out, um, those kind of folks usually just want to lay low and they don't want to screw it up, and they usually end up being some of your best tenants. So I don't know have you had any um convicts or
So,
felons
so
come in yet?
the ones that I had to evict, they weren't fresh out of prison. They
Oh,
actually
okay.
had records from like a while ago, and they were
Yeah.
like not being, they were either maybe on probation still, but not being watched really close by their probation officers.
Right.
Um, or they had moved out of town where their probation officer was, and
Yeah.
they just weren't being checked up on close.
Hmm.
Right now, so I had to evict like four people, so I have fresh new people in there, but boy, so far the interactions with them, I really think they're going to be good tenants. So
Good.
we
I'm glad to
always
hear that.
do month to month
Mhm.
lease. We don't do the pad split way right now. I haven't got my attorney on board with
Mhm.
that yet. And when pad split's not in Montana, so we do
I
month
was
to
just
month
gonna say,
leases.
yeah,
And we do month to month leases. I really wouldn't want somebody to rent by the week anyway. I won't want to deal with that part of
yeah,
it. But um, and then we actually do a move-in fee so that it's paid up front and it's not a returned fee. So they have to have a job. My main thing is they have to have a job.
yeah,
Um, if they don't have a job, I'm not gonna give them or be on like Social Security, right? But
yeah.
um, and then we interview them and we kind of get to know them a little bit. So it's more on a personal level. They do have to submit
Mhm.
a application, so we get the background check and everything.
Mhm.
And really, our only main thing is we don't no sexual assault, no sexual assault
Mhm.
people. We just won't tolerate. Just it's just not something that we can
No,
help.
I think that's
Um,
probably that's a good rule for sure.
So,
Um,
and then no eviction, like if they have evictions on in their background, then we have some special considerations we have to take into
oh,
consideration. So
interesting.
those are basic
What kind of
things.
considerations, if you don't mind me asking?
Like first and last month, like a significant amount of money paid up front.
Got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just in case, right?
Hmm.
Um, so what's been the process? I like the fact that you actually are you getting on Zooms with them, or are they actually having them physically show up and you're there
They're
physically having a conversation with them?
so that building is 3 hours from me.
Mhm.
So they show up and they have to talk to my building supervisor.
Mhm.
Um, Oh my gosh, Ashley, I didn't call him. It's his birthday today. It's Terry's birthday today. My building supervisor. He's such a great guy. And so they have to meet him. If they can't get along with Terry, I just don't want him in the building.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's not easy to get along with. I'll say, Ashley, call him. Tell him to tune in. Um,
Yeah, give him
There
a
you
shout out on
go.
the podcast. There you go.
um, so yeah, happy birthday. We'll send it over to him.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, if they don't get along with Terry, then we're not gonna, then that's, so that's one of my biggest things. And I
Is
just
Terry
learned
like a
that
good judge of character, would you say?
he's just not gonna take anybody's crap.
I
Like
gotcha. Okay.
yeah, he's
Love
just,
it.
and and he's see Ashley, true.
Yeah.
So he's yeah, he's not going to take anybody's crap, and that's what I like about him. He's an older gentleman, and he's just been around, and he's just, yeah, he's retired, and he
Yeah.
loves to help at the property, and
Yeah.
yeah, we love supporting him. So
Everybody needs a Terry, right?
yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep. So,
I'm the Terry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Pansy's my Terry. Yeah, Pansy's my Terry.
so
Um, no, that's really, really good though. I like kind of that flow. Now, obviously, you're running background checks and doing all the normal due diligence on people, but I like how you kind of add like, you know, come have a conversation with us. Let's meet in person or let's meet and see how this
right.
goes, right?
So I talk to him on the phone most of the time.
Yeah.
I talk to them on the phone, and I ask them all the things. Why did
Mhm.
you, what did you go to prison for? What
Yeah.
happened? And we sometimes we get into like mindset discussions and different things. And so
Mhm.
Ashley and I, like one of our new tenants, we really like, his name's Joe, and we're like, oh, Joe. Like, because like, they really want a better. He talks to me about, oh, I wish we had a common area so we could all get together, and like, so they they just want to be they just want to go and be better and have a better life,
Yeah.
and these rooms are hard to live. Like I would never. My daughter's like, if I went to school there, do it, will I have to live there? I'm like, no, you know. But I wouldn't want to live there, and they're thankful for it, and so I just want to make it a better place, and we're
Yeah.
trying. It's in rough shape, and so it
Well,
needs a lot of work.
it's an opportunity, you know what I mean? That's how, and I'm sure that's how they're looking at it too. It's an opportunity, right? But um so when you ask them what happened, why'd they go to jail, do they all tell you they're innocent? I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm
no,
just kidding.
no. They've learned, and that's the thing is like going through what I'm really seeing is when they're going through the prison system and they're going through their transition, they
Mhm.
have to do a lot of work on themselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of the work that we as real estate investors and entrepreneurs are doing for ourselves
Hmm.
with the different things that our mentors, Pace Morby, Jamil Damji, Jerry Norton, who
Hmm.
else? I don't know who else you guys work with and follow,
Who,
but
yeah, whoever you want to mention, we're not about thinking,
those but
yeah.
all those people, and there's many, many more, we've learned so much from them, and there's a
Hmm.
lot of similarities. When I talk to like Joe and Derek and these other people that are in our house, we're like, oh, they're learning those mindset things themselves.
Yeah.
They're learning all of the
Yeah.
basics, and it's just kind of cool to see the parallels actually.
I
Yeah.
love when I
That
can
is very cool.
tell that somebody's been working on themselves and their mindset and whatnot. Oftentimes people don't. Who's this? Lee, darn you.
It's all good. We'll edit in post.
uh, I don't know. Now I forget where I was going, but either way,
You
it's
said I love when people are working on their mindset.
yeah, I know. And then I had another thought, and then Lee interrupted. I'm gonna bonk him on the head when I see him.
Well,
But
I do
no,
too.
it is true though. Like you don't often think about the mindset thing. And when people throw that out there, a lot of times, like when I first heard it, it drove me nuts because I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, because that was all they said was, you need to change your mindset. What do I need to change about my mindset? Like, I don't understand, right? And a lot of people don't, but there's obviously many things that we could go down the rabbit hole of what you need to change your mindset on. But the fact that people recognize it in the first place, in my opinion, is like, I think she froze. Oh,
I'm
no.
here.
No, yeah, she's
But,
still.
is, I don't know. I just find that a good thing because not everyone is thinking mindset wise. Like, what do
Yeah.
I need to change?
I
How?
would just add that people who, and I agree with you, Pansy, but I think the folks that we look up to, the folks that are our mentors, people that are successful, know how important it is because that's what they had to do to get where they are. Like, I don't think I've talked to one successful person who did not have to go through their own mental shift in order to achieve what they've achieved, right? So, and that's why it gets brought up so much, especially from successful folks, because they just know, they instinctually know, look, if you're, especially if you're new or you're just getting started, work on your mindset, work on your why, right? You hear that all the time. Work on your why, work on your mindset, because that's what's going to carry you through. That's what it's going to get you through the times where you're not making any money and you're questioning why you're even doing this to begin with. Um,
And your family
it's
thinks you're crazy.
yeah, and your family thinks you're crazy. You don't have anything to show for the time and energy that
Yeah.
you've spent so far. Um,
Ah, my family thought I was crazy before I started.
oh well, see, yeah, there you go. But I would my family does too, so it's all good. We're all good there. But um still, that's what gets you through it, and they just know you're gonna have to deal with it. So that's why you might as well start right now and just know that you're gonna have to work on yourself no matter what. Even if you think you've got it all figured out, inevitably you don't, and you're gonna have to work on it. So yeah, and even you as a vet, Jennifer, you went through a lot of, you know, mindset and personal development going through being in the reserves, being in the military, and then afterwards getting out and then becoming an entrepreneur. It's like, crap, I thought I mean, you tell me, like, was there
Yeah.
just another level you had to bring yourself to?
It's a whole nother level.
Yeah,
It's a whole nother level. And
yeah.
I'll tell you, so I did my Clifton strengths.
Hmm.
And I thought, I'm a disciplined person. I can do, I can do things, and I'm disciplined and I can do things. It's like
Hmm.
one of the lowest of my strengths. It's
Oh,
my weakness.
wow.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I was so surprised because it wasn't discipline, it was structure that was
yeah.
actually driving me, and being successful in the military was the structure, not the discipline. And so I was
Interesting.
really surprised about that. So
I
I
believe
think
Very
that.
interesting.
getting to know yourself, and getting to know who you are. I
Yeah,
literally have my Clifton Strengths on my phone, so then when I look at it in the morning, I'm like, yeah, those are my strengths. Am I working in my
yeah,
strengths right now? If I'm not, how do I get it so that where's my who's going to help me
yeah.
with this problem that I'm having, or this
I
thing that
really
I'm
like
going
that.
through?
Pansy and I need to do that. We need to do our Clifton strengths together.
Yeah.
And have that. Yeah, that's really good. But so again, yeah, you just proved it. It's a whole different, you get into entrepreneurship and actually building something for your family and for yourself. It takes a whole another level of, I don't even want to use the word discipline, because discipline I feel like gets overused. It is,
Commitment.
yeah, commitment, passion, drive, um, consistency, all of those things,
I
right?
think it's gotta be, so I think you gotta be truly passionate about it in order to keep going with, because like you're saying, like discipline, structure, that gets you so far.
Mm,
But if you're really not into it, it's only going to take, there's only so long before you're like, I'm done, right? If
mm.
it doesn't go right.
True. Yeah, there is some of that. I would argue there's plenty of successful people that own businesses like, rubber plants, and that probably wasn't their passion, you know what I mean? But they built something. I think you kind of learn to be passionate about some things too, right? Learn to get, like, I don't know if you ever listened to Alex Hormozy's wife. She's got some amazing videos online, but Alex Hormozy's wife talks about, get addicted to it. Get addicted to doing the stuff that you like don't want to do. And you can't actually build that muscle, you know. But the discipline side of it, I forget who said this, but discipline is like this much of it. You just need the discipline, like, for the first little bit, just to build the habit. Then once you build the habit, there's really no more discipline involved, right? So, which I agree with. But so talk to me a little bit about the operations side of this, because I know that's what you're doing, that's kind of where your focus is on the operations or the integration side of it. What's been some of the biggest challenges you've had to deal with on the operations side of this business?
Everything.
Everything?
No,
Any main ones that you can think of?
no, it's a lot of it really is like communication, and making sure that and we still do it, but we're just constantly on text, like da 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 da. Well, okay, if we're doing that constantly, we have no system. So trying to get the system in place so that our communication can be tracked is
Hmm.
digital,
Hmm.
all of that. And then, so I'd say communication is a big one. And then,
Hmm.
um, systems take a long time to roll out. I'll be like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what it's going to look like. Here's my vision for this system. And then, like, a next week, Jordan will be like, do we have that? And I was like, no, not yet. Give me a
Yeah.
second. But that's good. I mean, we're trying to push and we're pushing really hard. But like one simple system that I had as an example, I'm like, okay, we're going to have every project that we have is going to have because we use ClickUp, and it's going to be in there, and then it's going to be on the map, and then we'll be able to have this map, and we'll see where all our projects are. And I laid it out for him. He's like, I need that in my life. When? And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know. When I'm not filling out applications, when I get an Ashley in my life, when I don't have to help do applications. So I got an Ashley in
Yeah.
my life, and guess what? Now we have a map.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so because Ashley's helping me with the property management, I actually could get that in place. So it's just having the time
Yeah. It
to
takes
really
time.
build those out and just sit down. Time has just been the hardest part, I'll say.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I
Yeah.
really answered your question there, but
No,
that's
you did. I would say that well, first of all, the communication one is huge, and I would say I would add one more thing about systems because it took me, I had a massive learning curve with CRMs and all that stuff. Like I'm in technology, I'm in cybersecurity, IT, and all that stuff, so I'm very well versed in technology, but there's still things on the CRM systems, marketing and all of that stuff. Steep learning curve, especially if you haven't done a lot of it, right?
Mhm.
If you haven't been in that arena, there's a learning curve to it. And I fell into the trap of trying to build the system first before I even knew what the
Mhm.
business model really looked like. And I think a lot of people fall into that, like, oh, I need to have the email, the website, the systems, and all that stuff set up. It's like, no, 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 no. First of all, nobody gives a crap about your system, right? My other partner says this a lot. Nobody gives a crap about your system if nobody uses it,
Right.
right? And it's especially true if you don't even know what the system even needs to be yet. Like start doing the business. And like at this point, obviously you've been in it for a while now. You know like where at least some of the disconnects are and like what a system can do to improve those things. So now you go build the thing, right? So anyways, yeah, I think
It, it's
that's
it's a
huge.
hard balance, because if you're going so yeah, you get into it and you're going so hard and fast, and now it's almost like you have to take a breath. Hopefully, it's not
Yeah.
long, a pause, and go build your system now, because you
Mhm.
can't go any further, any faster, because you're held up
Yeah.
from your system.
Yep.
So hopefully you're making enough money to maybe hire someone to put your system in place for you. But if you're just on the brink and it's like you're stuck,
Hmm.
um, that can be tough. And like we have some investors that I'm friends with that I'm like, let us help you. I have operators, I have people that could come in and help you,
Hmm.
but it's hard to get over that kind of mindset of like, now I have to put money in
Yeah.
and I'm not quite ready. Am I ready? But if you
Yeah.
don't put the money in, that's like the who not how book, right? Like
Yeah.
if you don't put
Yep.
the money in, you're just gonna stay stuck. Like you're gonna move so slow at such a snail's pace. Like how do you do both?
Yep.
And so that's what we've learned is like at least getting our VAs onboarded to help us. And that takes time. Actually,
Yeah.
that's another big
Time
struggle
and
in
training, right?
operations. Time to train and
Hmm.
time to hand off. I have a VA who's like, give me the task, give me the task. I'm like, I try, and because I don't have the time to do it properly, he gets stuck, and then like it's so frustrating. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you have to give me time to give you the task, but you're sitting
Yeah.
there just waiting for the task. My goodness,
Yeah.
it
That's
can
a
be tough. So doing it at the right time so that you're not like overloaded is a definitely consideration, I would say.
yeah, that's been one of my biggest challenges is especially on the money thing. Like at some point you have to realize like what's the cost benefit? Like, are you actually saving yourself any money or time by not spending that little bit of money? Or even if it's like more than a little bit of money, are you saving yourself any time or money? Chances are you're actually probably losing more time and it's going to
Yeah.
cost you more money if you don't do this thing, right? So it's like
Hmm.
that's why you really have to look at it from that perspective. It's taken me a while, but I'm finally at the point now where it's like, look, if it's something that's going to save me time and it's going to move us forward, then let's just spend the freaking money. Let's
Hmm.
just figure it out and spend the money and do it. Like
Definitely seen that.
I was really, Pansy and I got together when I was still trying to build a wholesale operation. And for me, my head just was not in it where it needed to be. I didn't really want, if I was really honest with myself, I wasn't good at building teams and I didn't really want to. Do you know what I mean? Like it was just kind of like, I shouldn't say I didn't want to. I wanted to build a team. I just couldn't give them the time that they needed, right? The training and the time that they really needed to actually have a cohesive team. And so I wish I would have during that time, part of me wishes I would have just brought someone on and paid the money to have someone come
Mhm.
on to help build that team out, right? Um, but you live and learn, right? Live and learn. So
We do it constantly.
yeah,
We have the same issue. We're still struggling with it, even though we
yeah,
know better. We're
yeah,
still because sometimes you just don't have that liquidity, right?
yeah,
Like money's
yeah.
tied
It's
up in
hard.
properties, so how do you do that? We started working with some people that want to orbit with us and it's been going really well and we're very appreciative of people coming on and we have a program together with to try to help get deals so that they can get paid on the deals, different things like bird dogging and underwriting and
Hmm.
marketing and being able to pay out, but we're struggling a little bit on our keeping people engaged, right?
Yeah,
Like just keeping those people wanting to stay
yeah.
and work with us because we're so busy. It's like how do we keep everybody going?
Keep people focused, keep people motivated, all of that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, huge challenge for, I've been at that point, and it's at a certain point you just got to realize like you don't want to build yourself a adult
Right.
daycare, right? You want to be bringing people in that kind of already have that drive there, and maybe, and I think about this a lot. It's like when you bring people in, you need to have that conversation like up front. I feel like that's just the upfront contract with them where you're like, look, I'm not going to be breathing down your neck. I'm here to help facilitate. I'm here to help train you. But if you don't have the motivation, you can't keep yourself on it and on task. This isn't a daycare,
Right.
And so we got to be honest with ourselves about what we're doing and what the expectations are. So yeah.
I think
And right.
like Pace always says bring value, and I didn't really understand what that
Yeah.
was until
Yeah.
I needed someone. I learned how to bring value, but until I needed someone to really bring value, I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so because otherwise I can't bring value back to them because I'm too busy.
Yeah.
But if someone who needs to bring you value is actually bringing value and unlocking your time, they can pour time into you. And so
Oh,
that's
I
the
like
way
that.
people need to think about that.
Yeah, I like that. So let me ask Ms. Pansy, let's see if you have anything you'd like to ask, but um what
Not
no, no, okay. What would you say right now, given all that you've learned and all the time that you've spent building this with the folks that you've built up the business with? What would you say is like your ideal situation for like a property? Like if you could just wave a magic wand, like what would that look like to get your perfect property, your perfect scenario? Um, for your at least let's say for your next property, for your next acquisition, what would be like the
Well,
perfect situation?
my perfect situation would be a property that I could have 9 rooms and 3 bathrooms.
Hmm.
Whether, it doesn't have to be 9 bedrooms, I can transfer rooms, but so probably about 3,000 square foot.
Hmm.
In Billings, Montana is where I would like my
Oh, nice.
very next one to be. I've got a list of people needing property
Yeah.
in Kalispell secondary.
Hmm.
Um, and then it just has to just high level for underwriting wise, it has to after utility, because I have to pay utilities in that kind of situation. So utilities with internet and like snow removal and lawn care all wrapped in, and some property management costs of like about actually 15% for a co-living.
Mm.
We would still make about $100 a room. So when
Okay.
you look at, and I say that just because we buy creative, so I can't be like, I need a $550,000 house. Like I don't know what that is, because if we buy creative, it might be $1 million house, but if we do it right, we
Yeah.
might, so
Yeah.
it
In
just
other words, the
depends.
purchase price doesn't really matter if you're buying creative. I mean, well, it doesn't matter as much, I should say, but
My
yeah.
payment, my monthly payment's what
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
got a cash flow.
Yeah.
How are you finding, because you're focused on, you said people getting out of prison and single moms and other uh s- properties. Obviously, you're not trying to put those two together, I would think. Um, so where are you finding the people to rent from then? Did you go to like local nonprofits?
So it's a lot of them are coming from a Facebook marketplace post. That's
Oh,
it.
interesting.
Most of them, I'm telling you guys, everything like Ashley's posting, we're also got um RVs parked at our RV park up in Kalispell right now that we're renting out. So anything affordable, that's what we're doing.
Interesting.
Um, so we're posting it on Facebook Marketplace, and that's the best place, I tell you. I have a list of
Interesting.
people that need rooms for rent up in Kalispell. Um, and so that's the best place. And then partnering with other organizations. So we've got I always forget the name of it, but in Billings it's called oh no, here it's called Aware in Butte, I think, but in Billings it's called like Active Inc. or some Active something.
Hmm.
But anyways, we just let them know when we have rooms available, and then they let their people know when they're getting out that they're available. And
That's
So how
so
did you link up with them then?
actually, things happen for a reason. So one of my tenants that was being evicted used them to be able to get caught up on their rent, and then we
Hmm.
built a relationship with them. I ended up evicting them in the end anyways, but
yeah.
we built a relationship with that company, and she's really good because she'll tell me if she thinks someone isn't probably going to be a good fit, and so that's good so that I know. But they help with their first month rent
Mhm.
and deposit. So they
Nice.
can get into a place, and then we just make sure that they have a job where they can carry that through. And it was really fun because I had my first tenant move out that was placed with them. So the transitional part I got to see all the way through one so far. So that's
That's
cool.
awesome.
That's really interesting. Are you actually helping them get jobs too?
Not
Or
yet.
not yet?
So yeah, we
That's a
didn't even
plan
get
though.
to cover like all the
Sure.
other things I want to do. I want to
Sure.
help them get jobs. I want to have partner with businesses. I want to we're looking at setting up. Ashley's actually a used car um dealer,
Yeah.
and so we're looking to set up a car leasing possible way to do car leasing for people. So
That's a
lots of
great idea.
different ancillary support system things that we want to do, and
That's
then
a
just
great
help them,
idea.
and then eventually, like, the baseline is get in a place, get safe, so they can have what happens when we're really stressed. We can't think about anything
No,
else.
you can't think
They
straight.
can,
I know. I've been there. And
so
when,
they
yeah,
can be safe and think straight and then grow from there, and then hopefully that I can be a part of their growth. And so I really do actually want to help with the mindset side of that as
I
well.
No,
love that.
that's amazing. I
So
love that.
we were talking about this before we started. I've been working on something too between helping people that need rooms and people who have rooms
Mhm.
but maybe they have stuff right in the way and whatnot.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so I thought like that could be some way to help the homeowner and maybe help someone who needs a room. Maybe they could come in and help with that particular house in exchange for coming in for lesser rent at first or something like that, you know. And then I was actually talking to a guy who had a carpet cleaning business um, that he launched in Florida,
Mhm.
and he has the capability to launch it here in Illinois. Um, but he wanted like 28,000 up front. And I was trying to negotiate with him some kind of deal because he technically doesn't have a business right now here without somebody to actually work the machine.
Mhm.
And so my thought was if I found somebody who was interested in building a business, right? Like getting into business, we could partner together and work out a deal. So
Mhm.
far, it's not working out that way, but my idea is if we can find people that do need the jobs and but also are interested in getting into business, you can help them up front if you have something going and they can come in on the business with you, have a home to stay at, you know, all at the same thing. So I like it. And I know you and I are going to stay in contact
Yeah.
because,
All
uh,
those things. I mean, like, even I talked to somebody, and they had to quit their job because their vehicle quit, all
Mhm.
these things. And now they went from a $20 an hour job to a $10 an hour job, and now they don't have a vehicle and
Yeah.
all these different things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so what do you do? What were you doing if you were making $20 an hour? What can we build? What kind of business can we build together? Like, what can we do? Because there's got to be something more, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And sometimes that's all people need is someone like yourself, like putting that spark in there, in
mhm.
their brain, right? So this is, yeah, this is all great. We need to have you back, have you and Ashley back on together to talk about the business, but I'd love to talk to you again when you guys start really getting some of these other things going that you're talking about. That'd be amazing. That would be an amazing conversation, but I know you're gonna do it. It's just a matter of time. So,
Yeah, Jennifer, we'll have to figure out how I can come hang out and do what I said.
yeah.
well, yeah, and
So
Montana's beautiful, by the way. I love Kalispell.
I've been
Kalispell is like one of
there.
my favorite
I've been
places.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Pansy and I met in
Yeah,
person.
we
Yeah.
met when I
Yeah.
got to go to community camp. That was
Yeah.
awesome. And I got to meet her mom and dad. And
Yes, I forgot. I was feeling bad in case they're watching. They did a lot of work on that duplex too. Hours and
Mhm.
hours and hours, my whole
Mhm.
family, just to give credit to everybody, like so many
Yeah.
hours
you
in
have
that
an
duplex.
awesome family. I
Yeah, that's
enjoyed
awesome.
getting to hang out a little bit with you guys there and everything.
Well, Pansy and I will
Um,
keep our eyes open for properties. You said Kalispell, and what was the other one?
Kalispell and Billings is my
Billings?
is my main. I mean, Butte, Kalispell, Billings.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, we're looking at moving into Dallas.
And
So
Dallas. Yeah, we'll keep our ears to the ground.
I'll put together. We're trying to put together the exact buy box. It's like 1 week old. So
Yeah.
yeah, we
Shoot that
just
over to us.
redid ours because um, you know, we've been doing the co-living thing and we didn't have that much knowledge on it, right?
Mhm.
Like, not that we have a whole lot now, but we have more,
Yeah.
right? So we've been
Yeah.
working with like Angel and Chris, and just they've been giving us homework the last few weeks, and we're like, dang, like here we thought we understood everything that went into like the due
Yeah.
diligence and what we're looking for, and no, there's a lot more to it.
I could
Yeah.
So
probably learn from you all. It's, yeah, I don't have, a ton of experience yet doing it. I'll be honest. I have the one building and we're
Mhm.
getting ready to do some more, but I definitely, that's where I just feel like I'll lean on my network as soon as I run into an issue, because you can't learn it all up front.
No, you
So
got to
well,
do
learning
no,
to
it.
but
try.
Yeah.
they're doing a good job at least of giving you a lot of
Yeah,
it up front that you really should know before you actually buy a property
Yeah.
for co-living.
Mhm.
So, um, and I'm sure me and Justin will take the time to put together maybe something and share it with everyone. But Chris and Angel, if you guys don't know them, they were on our show. They were like some of the first ones we had. Um, Go back and watch their episode, get
Yeah.
connected with them too. They're in school, they have a school community.
Mhm.
They're really breaking it down though. Like,
Yeah.
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
down to
And
every little thing that you can imagine. They're breaking it down, which is
yeah,
awesome.
and one of the first things really is choosing the market. Now they rely heavily on pad split for I shouldn't put it that way. They rely on pad split for to help with a lot of the market due
They
diligence, but
trust a lot of their
yeah,
information and
but rightfully so though, right?
yeah.
Because pad splits put a lot of time and a lot of money into their platform and all of their data points. They have data points that no one else has from their own just running their own platform. So they do have some very useful market research that's available if you start a pad split host account.
Yeah, yep,
Um, so and that's a big thing and realizing like how much actually goes into choosing the right market that you're going to go to. And then obviously after that is choosing the right property. But yeah, a lot more goes into it than you think. And we're grateful to be learning this stuff now because you can either learn it now or you can make a really costly mistake and learn it afterwards. So those are
yep.
usually the
Yeah,
choices.
absolutely. With Dallas, that's definitely part of our market research will be pad split and what we can learn from that. So,
Yeah, I'd be happy to show you. I built something in AI just with ChatGPT, just building out some ChatGPT bots
mhm.
that help with some of the market research, but I'd be happy to show you how I have
Sure.
that set up.
That would be
But
awesome. I love that.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Um,
Well, we'll respect your time, Jennifer.
yeah. We are up at an hour now, but Jennifer, really quick for folks, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
You can get me on Facebook, Jennifer Breitbach. There's not a lot of Jennifer Breitbachs, the redhead on there. And
Mhm.
also I think I'm the Jennifer Breitbach on Instagram. I have to look. I
So
don't know what
at
I
the
have.
Jennifer Brightbaugh.
Yeah.
We'll be sure to include
Yep.
the information.
Yeah, I'll make sure it's in the description too,
The
but
Jen, no, the Jen Brightbaugh. So
okay,
my
the Jen
YouTube
Brightbaugh.
that isn't really going now, but y'all can check it out someday when it is going. But that's the Jennifer Brightbaugh, and then
Okay.
Instagram is the Jen Brightbaugh.
Maybe we
Awesome.
can help you get it going, girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Thank you again, Jennifer, for jumping on with us. This was I enjoyed this conversation. We're definitely gonna have to have you come back on, but I think we'll call it for tonight. I appreciate all you guys who are watching and who continue to come on and support the show. For those of you who are new or seeing it for the first time, please like and subscribe and leave us a comment because it does help us with the show and helps us to get better. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys again. Justin, this is to my left is Pansy, and this is the Friends with Benefits podcast. We'll see you guys for the next one, episode
Appreciate
39.
you.
Yep.
thank you.
See you guys.